Hi everyone, it's day 3 of rehearsals for Mark and the Marked, and this morning we're going to have a little think about games. So a lot of the structure of the show is built up in the form of games. So is this something that you've met before? Is it something that you've met in like training context? Is it something you've used in performance? What's been your game experience thus far?
I think I remember playing games in training for kind of warm-ups, but never to take further for a piece, which I really like. It's really fun. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far.
Good.
Yeah, it's interesting that because I think as actors you tend to associate it with like breaking the ice in rehearsal rooms just to start the day off, and like it being sort of an integral part to the piece itself is quite interesting. But then also it's making me look at other bits of acting I've done in the past, and like maybe there's a game to everything in a way, and it's kind of finding that and bringing out more of a playful energy, because I think there's something quite serious about the idea of acting, whereas like playing games on stage just unlocks a sort of whole new energy and playfulness, which is perfect for this piece, of course.
Nice.
I just think incorporating the games just makes it more interactive with the audience, especially when you include the audience.
I think there's a real honesty to game playing, isn't there? In a way, if you're acting, it's kind of a fancy way of saying I'm lying, isn't it? Like going, I am Hamlet, Prince of Denmark. No, you're not.
Yeah.
But if all you're doing is going, I really want to pretend that this is a saxophone.
Yeah.
I am pretending that this is a saxophone. That is truthfully what you are doing. So I think there's a sort of weird honesty to game playing. Yeah, how does it feel different, kind of playing a game versus playing a scene with other actors?
I think there's definitely a competitive energy.
Oh, nice, yeah.
It makes it definitely more real.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you said, we're playing a game, not just rehearsing a scene over and over again. So there's always like new opportunities just to see what happens, which is always nice.
Like an immediacy to it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like we're trying to repeat. We're trying to play afresh every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
I think also like when playing games it's harder to second guess yourself, whereas if you're playing a conventional scene, I think it's really easy to overthink it. But there's a simplicity to the game playing, which is like, I know what I want, I've got a very clear objective, I need to win this game, and that's really freeing.
How do you think it's going to feel putting that in front of an audience?
I feel like it will make the audience, especially since it's with little kids, I think it'll make them more comfortable. Obviously it might be a little bit daunting just having these 3 adults, these really big people just in front of them doing
true.
stuff. If it was like a normal theatre piece they might like not understand or get shy, but if we were just playing a game, they see us having fun, they see us being competitive and silly, then they'll just feel more relaxed and they'll get more into it.
Yeah, it's like an icebreaker for the audience as well. Yeah.
For me at least, I can see a temptation to make it cleverer. That's not a word, is it? That's not clever.
It is now. Yeah.
Cleverer
Cleverer.
than it needs to be. And yeah, kind of like what you're saying about it's maintaining the authenticity of the game and the simplicity of it. So I think being in front of an audience might be a bit jarring at first, but
I'm quite looking forward to just the unknowing of like some audience might really, be like, oh, that's amazing. Some might be like, this is a bit weird. I don't know how to react, but
well, I guess that's it for a lot of the games. They're part of it as well, so that will inform the nature of the game a lot.
So thus far, the bits that we've been playing with have been more from the beginning of the show, where the games are quite fun and quite playful and quite sort of in the energy of friendship. What we're coming to now as we get through sort of to the middle part of week 1 of rehearsals is we're going to start to get onto some of the darker games. Are you feeling any kind of anxiety or nervousness about finding the game where the game is a lot darker, a lot crueler? Because towards the end of the show, we're still in that language of playing and of games, but the games start to get cruel, they start to have a victim, they start to have definite winners and losers. How are you kind of feeling about that?
a little, like you say, a little bit of, not quite anxiety, but just I think nervousness, because there's already bits in the game, like you say, where you notice that pang of, oh, this is kind of, it's different than just playing happily. And whether that's like a pang for a second and then, oh, okay, like we'll go on to something else. Actually, just that feeling is quite nervous in itself, I think.
Yeah. I guess we've all been kind of bouncing off this quite similar energy for the first load of games in the show, and for us all to kind of have our own individual energy, whether that be like fear or like anger or just sort of mediating the situation, I think that's gonna be tricky and harder to navigate maybe, and might require a little bit more thinking about who our characters are.
Yeah, I think, as Joel said, you'll definitely have to be more aware. It's a turn in the story where it incorporates a little bit more serious undertones, where it starts to convey a message that the kids can like take out of the play. Instead of it being super silly, it's now turning into something they can actually use. And how sometimes situations develop outside of a game and how they can get more serious. And
I think we'll have to be, because we want that fully embodied emotion, we want that sense of risk. So I think we're just going to have to navigate the next few days carefully and take care of each other a bit.